Hello everyone, movie recap here. Today we are going to recap the movie Wifelike, from 2022. We start in a bright room where we see a man on a table and a woman seducing her. The thing is, it's not a woman, it's a robot, and there's a guy selling them. The guy says the robots aren't cheap, but whoever buys the robots would better his wife. He meets a guy he calls an agent. They speak by hologram. William, the agent, complains that the meeting was too short. We find out that he works at Wifelike, the company that produces robots. William gets a robot called Meredith, which we see entering his home. Meredith is observant and tries to connect with the life William wants. William talks about a real Meredith, and the robot tries to adapt to this story. They go to William's room, where we find that Meredith responds to William's commands and orders like a machine. He can even configure some programmed emotions and desires for Meredith. William says he is nervous and the robot takes the initiative. She's running some sort of seduction program, and William isn't nervous anymore. The robot later asks if William was happy with his performance. William says he was. Then we see that she has to go recharge her batteries. We also realize that she has reflexes and superb eyesight. She notices someone watching her outside, combing her hair and grabbing a newspaper with her name on it. She will recharge her batteries as if she were going to sleep. The next day, Meredith is having breakfast and they talk about William's work. We learn that his job is to protect robots, called companions. There are people who don't like Wifelike's artificial intelligence and steal the bots. William says they will reprogram the robots to make new updates. Meredith then walked into a room William had set up for her and played a makeup tutorial to learn how to do it. 2 robots are missing and William's team must find them. William seems to be the best agent on his team because he is the one who finds the most missing robots. William located a few of them. One of them, called Wendy, wears a necklace with red lights on it. It looks like collarbones can control robots. William enters the house and discovers a guy who plays video games with glasses. He punches it and investigates the house, and notices some sort of tech lab for robots. The owner of the house entered the room pointing a gun at a robot's head. William shot him and freed the robots. We then see Meredith enter dream mode, a virtual representation of some of her desires and experiences. We enter the dream with Meredith. The dream is about Meredith's birthday at William's. There's a party with a lot of people, and one of the girls there tells Meredith that it's her dream, that everything can be as she wants. She also meets a guy with a mask, who gives her a card and says she'll remember things with it. Back with William, he goes to the Wifelike facilities with the salvaged robots. Some of them seem to hate William, as they seem to realize that he's the one always catching them and erasing their memories. Meredith tries to remember some things about the human Meredith, but can't. She is interested in developing hobbies and goes for a bike ride. She falls halfway because a woman was standing in the way. The woman says it's time for Meredith to remember. Meredith tells this to William, who just replies that women don't like robot companions. The robot begins to become aware of itself, assuming Meredith's identity. William feeds her memories of the real Meredith. The robot asks for everything it can to recreate the woman's memory. We see that she tries to do human things and wants to learn using her dreams. She then returns to dream mode but discovers that some of her dream files have been blocked. She chooses a scenario at random, the one that William had proposed to her. However, instead of finding William, she saw the masked man again, who told her that she had to remember everything. William woke her up and told her she was fine. The robot looks anxious as if Meredith's consciousness is trying to remember things it can't. She watched real-life recordings of Meredith, who looks different from the robot Meredith. The next day, Meredith sings in English, Spanish and Italian for William, who holds her and listens to her. He then goes to work and finds a robot that was trying to blend in with some people as a receptionist. We find out that the robot woman has run away from the man who bought her and is also trying to escape William. She ends up jumping out of a window. Back home, we find the woman who knocked Meredith down sitting on the couch. She is a human and questions Meredith, because of her memories. She says she must remember something. The woman says she will introduce Meredith to the man in the mask, the guy she had seen in her dreams. Liz, the wife, gave Meredith some additional information and said goodbye. William goes to Wifelike and finds that they are now developing babies, saying anyone can be a parent. William calls his boss, or at least the hologram, and tells him that the robot jumped out the window. William says female robots are starting to make decisions for themselves, including death. The boss says it was fine as it was all part of the world he created. Later that night, Meredith tells William that Louise was at home. William discovers that the masked man is looking for Meredith. William calls one of his colleagues, Jack, who helps him enter the dreams of the robot Meredith. They watch the dreams on a screen to find out who the masked man is. Meredith, in her dream, walks into an abandoned house with a suit and finds mannequins with cobwebs. She then encounters the masked man, who removes his mask. He says he is looking for her and he won't stop until he finds her. He gives Meredith an address where he supposedly is, and William leaves with his team. He discovers that there was nothing there, it was all a decoy. William went home, where Meredith says someone brought a package. She asks about the masked man and William says he erased a lot of her memories. It seems Meredith was a wife-like enemy and William was trying not to let them hurt her. William and Meredith go into dream mode together to search for the masked man. Jack says he should observe, not intervene. They enter a dream in a forest where William must face the masked man without him. William, aware that he was in a dream, decided to fight the man, who William believes is a terrorist. He then engages in a fight as Meredith runs through the woods. William won the fight but Meredith took them into another dream, that of the birthday party. The unmasked man says he would never stop coming for Meredith, and William says he'd kill her all if he insisted on showing up. The guy says Meredith will find out the truth eventually, and William says he'll erase her memory again and again. Meredith was in the back, listening to what William was saying. William was about to end the man when Meredith woke up from dream mode. William now knows that Meredith is hacked. He says he will skip some rules to protect his story. William tells Meredith that he is going to erase her memory, and she becomes sad about it. She says she doesn't want to forget what happened in the past few days. Meredith is then seen entering the room where all the robots that hated William were. They were all erasing their memories. Meredith knows she's been there before, and one of the other women told her that they developed the ability to remember things after the memory wipe. She learns that the way to remember things is through her dream mode. The woman asked him to act as if his memory had been erased. Meredith did this and stored some of the memories in dreams. Later, employees or robots, who knows, took Meredith to the wiping station, where her program was reset. Louise is then seen interrupting a woman, who was with her glasses on, and gives her a thumb drive saying that women should take care of each other. Meredith woke up but was able to remember everything. His next experience is with William at his house, where he asks him to behave like a human being exactly as he did before. The woman who had the flash drive was Jack's partner, who called him to look at the files. She said she was going to test if he was really a good man. William keeps telling Meredith that he was always her husband, but Jack appears with proof to the contrary. Jack thinks William killed Meredith's real husband. The reason they couldn't find him before is because he only existed in Meredith's dreams. William just says he's in love with Meredith. Jack says he's arresting William, but he refuses and shoots him. Meredith entered the room and confronted William. We learn that the real Meredith was never a companion, it was just William who was obsessed with her. William reported Meredith as a rogue robot and killed her boyfriend. William enslaved Meredith and turned her into a robot. He claims he gave her the perfect life. He had done it after choking the human Meredith and programming a robot to look like her. Meredith says she was never going to be his and attacked him. We learn that the love story William was telling Meredith was just the real love story between Meredith and the masked man. Meredith grabbed a pillow and smothered William. Meredith is then seen entering a room with other liberated robots, or consciousnesses. Meredith seems to be their leader and says they have the freedom to experience life. We then see that Wifelike produces another William, ready to hunt Meredith. Meredith says she's going for him too. And that's how the movie ends. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Thank you, see you next time.